Hey everyone. So the last video was a completely theoretical part, like what is SharePoint, how you can use it, what's the concept, and what are the hierarchy and building blocks of the SharePoint. So from this video and upcoming videos, completely focused on the practical purpose. So our second topic is how to customize the site navigation. So let's start with creating the site first. So go to your SharePoint Online. This is the site that I have created. To create a new site, you just have to click on this SharePoint icon, then hit on create site. Now, when you click on create site, it will open a pop-up where you will have two options. The first one is team site and second one is communication site. So in earlier video, I mentioned to like what's the difference in between these two, but let's understand it in this video in detail. So as you can see, this is the information they are already placed here. Like for the team site, it is created for the private spaces to collaborate with your team. Now, as the name suggests, so private space mean if you are doing some project or if you have a team. So let's say there are different teams in organization, right? Like finance team, security team, HR team. So whatever happens or whatever the confidential information they have in within the team, they don't like to share it with anyone else, right? So if that's the case of yours, then team site is the best option you have. Once you create team site, it will create a teams channel as well, because there are the projects. If you create a project site for their team, then you have something like channel where you can communicate, because SharePoint is not something you directly communicate with each other. You have to send messages, attach files, emails, and everything, right? So it will create teams too for you as well. Second one is communication site. Now communication site is something like, as the name suggests, communication means if you have to share the information that is for the global audiences or for every people in your organization. So we can think of it as an intranet. If you are building a SharePoint intranet, communication site is something that you must choose, because this is something you have to share with all the audiences, or I can say people in your organization, right? So for our purpose, I think we can go with the communication site first. When you click on it, you will have a bunch of options to play with. So these are the templates. So there is standard communication, departments. If you are doing a learning portal, there is a template for that as well, and human resources, etc. So these are all the templates you have. Template, that means it's not something like you choose a template and you can't edit it further. If you choose a template, you can always edit it, but template is something like it just give you a structure kind of thing. If you don't know like which web parts where I have to put, right? So in that case, you can choose a template. But if you'd like to start with your own completely from scratch, there is an option that says blank. So when you click on blank, you just have to see all the details. So this is not that much required. Just say use the template. Now the site name. So what is the site name of yours? You can put it here. So for now, I'll just give SharePoint training. Now, as soon as you are typing site name, URL will also automatically appear here. One thing, if that URL is not, let's say, not available, or if there is any other site that is not created by you but created by someone else with this URL, it will automatically says you that you can't use this URL, or it just append any random number after that. But luckily we have this URL here and the site description. This is completely optional, but yes, if you're building a site for the audiences and the live projects, then site description is something you should always specify. So for now, I'll just specify the content. This is my training site for. If you click on next, by default, the language will be English depending on what region you are, but you can always change the language. So this is the primary language of your SharePoint site. So I think I can go with the English only. Now, when I click on create site, it will start the process of creating site, and within a few seconds or a minute, the site will be created for you. And once it is created, it will automatically redirect you to that site. So as you can see, the site has been created for us. There is nothing in this site, unlike the communication site that I showed you in the earlier video. So there will be only one site title, These are the default links when you create a site in SharePoint. These links will be by default there. The first is document, second one is pages, and third one is site content. Document will take you to the document library. Page will take you to the site library, that is a document library only, but specifically created for the site pages. And then accidentally deleted this presentation. Okay. And then we have the site contents. Now in this video we are going to cover the how we can edit the site navigation. So there are one thing. So let me just create a site navigation for you. Let me just go to change the loop option because I don't like this white background. So I'll just go to change the loop. I will go to header and I will say the background will be this theme color. Site title I want, I will just toggle it on. Site thumbnail, I will change this site thumbnail. So let me just see if I have any image for it. Okay, I'll just use this one. And for the site logo as well. And I can choose this extended format. And I want site title to be hidden and only logo should appear at the center. So this is the logo alignment. Now I can just click on save. Now let's see if we have any other options. So go to site navigation. So here we have the site navigation visibility if you'd like to show it, but always show the site navigation because if you don't show it, user won't get where to navigate, what items are there for me. There are two options, menu style. The first one is mega menu and second one is cascading menu. So currently I don't have that much content here. So what I'll do, I'll just add a simple dummy content so that you can visualize like how these two are different from each other from the UI point of view. Now let me just close it. Now, in order to add a links here, first what you have to do, you have to click on edit. It will open the navigation pane where you have home, documents, pages, and site content by default added here. Now to add a new link, what you have to do, when you hover over it, you can see the plus icon will appear. When you click on it, it will open a pop-up to add a new link. There are two options, I think, link and label you can add. Label is something that you don't have any redirect URL to it, it's just text format. But I think link is something that you should always add in the navigation. So you have to specify the address. So I'll just use google.in as address and the display name. So display name will appear on the site navigation. So whatever you want to call it, I'll say Google homepage. You can also specify whether you would like to have this link open in a new tab or the same tab, but I'll always prefer to open it in a new tab. And just click on save. So as you can see, that link is added here. Now if I click on it, it will redirect me to the Google homepage. To edit the link as well, you have to click on edit. You see these ellipses, you have to click on it. The first option is edit. So when you click on it, you can just change the link or change the display name, etc. Second option is move up and move down also. There is option to move down this link, but if you are the person who just drag and drop, what you can simply do, you can just click on this and you can just directly drag and drop anywhere you want. Now I'll just have it in a first place. Now there are the hierarchy kind of thing, because if you see any website out there, there are some top level links. If you hover over it, a small menu will open. Similar kind of way here also you can do it. So what I will do, I will just add a simply dummy content here so that you can visualize it. So I'll pause the video for now, add some dummy 2-3 labels or links here, and then we can go through it. I have added few labels. So these are basically departments. Now if I hover over it, nothing is happening. So if you are building a site where you have the hierarchy pattern, right? So all these things are departments. So if your organization has more department, that's it's not recommended to show department like this one. What you have to do, you have to create one top level structure, and just below it you will have this one. So what I will do, I will just create a label on top of after the site content, because it is just a label, you don't want user to click on it. So I will just name it as the departments. Now what I want, all these links to appear under this department, not the top level menu. So what I can do here, you can directly drag it and drop it here. You can drag this link and you see the background is changing. That means you have to put the link that you have selected inside this. But if it is more difficult to you, what you can do, there is a ellipsis, you can just click on make sublink. So what it will do, whatever the root level that you have added, it will create a sublink for it. So as you can see, it will automatically shift it towards right. Same way I will just do it. Now you don't see the changes until I save it here. So let me just save this. Now as you can see, those links are gone. But when I hover over this, you see when I hover it, all the departments are here. Now what I can do, you can also add the sublinks to the links that you have added. So let's say finance, there are multiple things you have. What you can do, you can just add one thing here. Let's say finance 1. I'll add one more. I'll just add a label because I don't have the links. And there will be, let's say, sales, marketing. Now let me just save it so that you can visualize what's happening. If I added it, you see all three links that I have added appear here. But what I want, these three links under the finance department. So let's click on edit. The same way you have to drag it and drop it here. So there are two level structure only. You can't just create a diagonal pattern of it. There are some restrictions. So as you can see, there is one department. In that we have this sub department, that is finance, and there are three sub departments: accounting, finance ops, and sales and marketing. Now if I save it, you see there is one finance department and three links below it. And you can see this structure. So this is the mega menu kind of thing. So you have the huge section of it. And there is one second navigation option. We go to change the look, navigation, and I will change it to cascading look. Now when I change it to cascading, and when I hover over it, you see there will be only one box here. And if there are sublinks, then there will be arrow next to the title. So when I hover on that arrow, it will open. So if you have a large amount of links, then cascading is something that I will recommend, because mega menu will open in a very big screen. But if you have a smaller number of items, then you can use the mega menu as well. That's totally depends on you and your needs. So I think you understood like what how you can add the links, update and delete. Also you can how reorder them. Now next thing is audience targeting. So while adding the link, you might have noticed this functionality: enable site navigation audience targeting. So what audience targeting is, let's understand this. So audience targeting, as the name suggests, so there are some items that you want to show to specific audience only, because this is the communication site. Obviously it will accessible to every people in your company, right? But there are some confidential information, confidential link that you want only to showcase to some people. In that case, the audience targeting comes in. So when you enable this one and save it, and now when you add or update any link, you will see an option audience to target. So here what will happen, you have to provide the Microsoft 365 or the security group. You cannot select individual peoples to it. You have to select groups only, but the maximum limit is 10 only. You can select 10 groups at a time for this link to target. So what will happen, there will be Microsoft 365 group. Let me just check if I have the group created. Yeah. So all company members. So this is the group that is by default created when you create the tenant, the all company, where it will be a group where all your employees email ID or company's email ID will be stored. So when I save it, then only people in this group can able to see that link. If there is a person who is not in that group, won't be able to see the links on their side. Now this is something like if you have some confidential links, information, you can create audience targeting, because this is the use cases. In I saw many projects I did, there are some use cases to have this enabled. Now you can also edit the link, and there also you will get an option. So it's not like when you create a new link, then also it's going to happen. When you are editing, updating, in the both cases, you have that option. Now let me check if there is any topic. We saw this one, adding new links, reorder them, top navigation, left navigation, site design we saw, audience targeting we saw. If you have any questions in this video, or if you're getting confused like what's happening here, just drop me a comment below. I will also going to put the links to the official Microsoft documentation, so you can just read more about it. So if you don't understand any concept, you can just go to Microsoft documentation. Those are very detailed level of things. And still, if you have any question, you can just drop me comments below. The next topic of this series will be the understanding site permissions. But before that, just let me tell you like why these navigation things matter, because it helps user to move quickly between areas and departments. So area is not something like within a site, but yes, there are some links, because organization also has the website, right? So there are some important websites, links are there, third-party links, any different URL they would like to showcase, they can always link it to your intranet page. And it also avoid confusion and improve user experience, because you see there in navigation we have different options to create a hierarchical pattern, but if you just something that put all the links in one go or top level, there will be a lot of link that the user won't get it, like what is these links are. But if you create a hierarchical pattern, they will get to know like, okay, this is the department, this is the sub department, and these are the links specific to this department only. Now there are some quick tips, like use clear labels always, because label is something is not for you, it's for every other people who is accessing it. So make sure you name it so that every people can understand. If there is a document library, you don't say just document library, you specify like what this links is, like finance document library, HR policies, etc. And this is the very important thing, avoid linking to personal or outdated content. Outdated content, I mean there are some links, external links, let's say, or internal links. So currently today's date are there, but let's say after few days, few years, those pages accidentally deleted by someone. So obviously that link is not going to delete from the site navigation directly, but make sure you have the updated content. And site navigation is something that is not for your personal use. So is there anything, it's not like Google or Edge bookmarks, you can just put any bookmark on top of it. So it's for every people, so make sure you don't add any personal information or personal links redirection there. Next topic is going to go understanding site permissions. What are the different site permissions are, permission levels are there, and how you can create a permission levels and what's the use of it. So we'll take a topic in this next video.